I just read this effing article. I'm really annoyed.
Oh, good.
Man.
Well, you know what? We found another guy that doesn't appreciate our brand of humor, Anthony. His name's Michael Bryan. Yeah. And I wrote an article in one of the papers out there in Sacramento.
Doesn't like our brand of humor?
What's the name of the paper? Nomination?
Nomination.
Or is that that might be an ad. Oh, here it is. Latest issue of Sacramento Magazine.
It's in
New York. It's the article's titled "Turned Off."
Turned off.
Headline reads "Turned Off."
Turned off.
And it's all about this fine radio program, Anthony.
All right.
You want me to read a little?
Oh, sure.
And then we can just comment as we go along. I tuned in a local FM radio station targeting young adults as I drove to pick up my 13-year-old daughter after her practice. The two women who wrote...
Oh! What was she wearing?
The two women who wrote Sacramento's February cover story about eligible singles had been invited to be on that station to talk about the story, and I wanted to listen beforehand to see what the format was like. Of course, talking about the fine station KXOA in Sacramento.
Right.
What I heard was awful.
Awful.
Awful. Awful.
Awful.
Awful.
Turned off.
That means we are doing our job, Anthony. Yep. What I heard was awful.
Awful.
A few male disc jockeys talking crudely. Oh, God forbid.
Crudely.
Crudely. You're not playing?
Dude, you don't understand.
It was your turn to say crudely.
I'm sorry. I really get annoyed.
He's so aggravated and annoyed with this story.
It's a short article. We'll give you a chance. All right. A few male disc jockeys talking crudely, asking women... Crudely. Asking women to join a contest to lose their virginity.
Yeah.
And to lose it wherever you want. In a car, under an overpass, in the desert, wherever. They also asked women to call in and feign orgasm.
We're asking women to call in and feign orgasm.
FEIGN.
He makes it sound so fun.
Yeah. Like his wife has been...
You can't say the F-U thing.
Why?
Norton.
I wasn't sure if that was Jim Norton or audio from our meeting with Ken Stevens.
Yeah.
Feign, yes. Feign orgasms on the air. And they promoted a Naughty Nighties contest where my listeners emailed in photos, which would then be posted on the station's website.
Yeah.
There was no emailing of photos, but okay, I'll give you that one. Turned off. Turned off.
Turned off.
I thought the program was tacky, unoriginal, and especially demeaning to women. I worried that young men listening could, over time, compromise their respect for women.
Here it is.
My daughter included.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Hey, jack off, douchebag, ass F.
Douchebag!
Dick. What people here on this show... I want any proof whatsoever. Any inkling of evidence that what is said on this show or any other show about anyone else leads people to anything from disrespect to violence.
I'll give you proof. Disrespect. The way I treat women. It's horrible. Suck and get out of the car. It's some middle-aged fraud with a 13-year-old C of a daughter. No one cares about your daughter. She's your effing problem. We're not supposed to have a good time on the radio because you got some 13-year-old dummy? She's probably blah, 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 blah already. Don't you watch HBO, stupid? I am so sick. You know how old he is? I'm sorry to do this. This guy, this guy. I am reminded of sitting on the beach in Aptos in 1967 with several friends. We were listening to the long version of Going Home in the Rolling Stones Aftermath album. Not because we loved it, but because we heard that if you listen carefully, you could hear Mick Jagger utter the F word. He was 17 when that happened. When I was 17, me and my Jaguar friends would never have sat around listening for the F word on an album. You have been a faggot since you were born. You would never have gone... You probably didn't like Lenny Bruce. You probably didn't like Richard Pryor. And I'm not saying that this show is Lenny Bruce or Richard Pryor. Don't misinterpret that. I don't mean that. That was
I was thinking more Andy Kaufman.
Okay, Andy Kaufman. You can go with Andy Kaufman.
Go ahead.
That just really, really bugs me. He is... How old is he? He's 1950. He was born... You are a 52-year-old bore with a little pot belly and a stupid daughter. You don't like it? You don't think it's funny? Fine, I respect that. But as far as, it's going to teach young men disrespect for women and my daughter. 4 years from now when they're picking her up, they're going to be trying to get it sucked before they drop her off anyway. Doesn't matter if they listen to this or dance music. I'm so tired of parents and your mother effing kids. It's not my responsibility. I don't have kids. That's why I leave it in the dumper or in the mouth. Because I hate kids. Do you understand what I mean? That makes me want to vomit. This arrogant, faggot, yuppie mentality. I don't care about your kids. I have a nephew. I love my nephew. But you know what? I'm good to him. You want to raise your kids right? Raise them right. I don't care what he listens to on the radio.
That's hilarious.
Oh, my God. Bravo.
Dude, I am so...
Bravo.
I'm doing stand-up for 12 years. I know you guys have been doing it. I'm dealing with these people like this so long, writing their letters, toilet humor. And meanwhile, this is the type of guy that works for Enron that will rape you and F you out of everything you've ever earned. But if you say something on the radio that's sexual, all of a sudden, oh, my daughter's listening. And she's also riding in a Jaguar.
Oh, God damn.
That really, really, really bugs me, man. It really bugs me.
It amazes me. I do honestly believe bad parenting does more damage and causes more things than radio or television. What we're doing on this show... what's this guy's name? Mike
O'Brien, which
Mike
really jumps right out at you, doesn't it? Boy, that Mike O'Brien had something to say.
What we do on this show, you show me, you know, all you goodies spout this all the time without backing it up with one bit of fact that this type of program makes people treat women worse or promotes violence against races or sexual... preferences. Show me something. Don't just blurt it out because you don't like it. Show me something.
Read the last two paragraphs. I know Jim read like the first line or two, but it gets even better. Him and his friends sitting around at the beach.
Yeah, sitting around at the beach.
17 years old.
Waiting, going, here comes.
Here comes the F word.
Here comes the F word, other faggots that I'm hanging with. Here comes the F word. Who did that at 17? I was puking and cutting my wrist when I was 17. God, what a pussy.
Here it is. Yeah, sitting around the beach, listening carefully, you could hear Mick Jagger utter the F word. Again and again, we played the tune and debated exactly what was said. I recall feeling rather adult about it. As I did not want anyone telling me at 17 what I could or could not listen to. Mike, the world has passed you by. That's the problem.
Ponytail-wearing, middle-aged douchebag.
Here he says it. But the world seemed to have a clearer boundary as to what was acceptable. In 67?
Yeah.
A boundary. What? Fire hosing blacks in the South and sending youngsters from this country to be killed in a war we had no business to be in. Yeah. There was such clearer boundaries. Oh, but he was listening to the F word. Oh, really skirting those boundaries.
And then claiming it was a time of love when all the hippies, you were fraudulent and drug addicted. All you did was spit on soldiers when they came back. But we love each other. Bunch of acid-tripping dirtbags. And now they are the yuppies like this guy now. And what am I doing? Anti-establishment. The establishment's wrong.
Today, boundaries seem non-existent, he says. Today, boundaries seem non-existent. As opposed to those wacky 60s where, that was a time listening to the F word on the beach with your friends.
Would you like to know a boundary, by the way? Here's a direct boundary. Opie and Anthony make a lot of money. You are a jizzbag writer for a one-city magazine. That's a nice boundary. They're rich, and you're a nobody, you 52-year-old flunky.
Hey, Norton. We don't make
Whose check did you look at lately?
I read the reports. I don't know. I read the same reports that everybody else.
Still trying to downplay that, you know.
That's right.
You're not helping the matter.
Awful dressers.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Simple barricades just waiting. But to me, dumb DJs laughing like Beavis and Butthead while they blather crudely on the air. Are we blathering?
I like the word
that
blather.
I actually agree with.
Yeah, we like that.
You are blathering.
That's a compliment to us, Anthony.
Goes beyond pushing the limits. Toilet humor broadcast that... This makes no sense, this line. Try to figure this out. Toilet humor broadcasts that demean people are damaging to the public good. What? Give me a fact. He's stating that something is damaging to the public good. In what way? Why doesn't it say, in my opinion, toilet humor broadcast? You use nothing to back this up.
Mike, you sound just like your dad did in 1967.
And
How
you're
does
just
it
as
feel?
big a failure, and your voice was never heard.
I'll back something up, Mike. I'll state something and back it up, okay? If you have a 13-year-old daughter now, I would say odds are, based on statistics and studies that have been done and research, not like your thing, based on research, if somebody at this time in their life has a 13-year-old daughter, she is probably sucking C. And it's backed up with fact, Opie. It's backed up with fact. A lot of 13-year-old girls are at least performing oral sex in the schools. A lot of them. So there's a chance that if you have a 13-year-old daughter right now, she might be sucking on a knob at school. And that's backed up with fact.
And that's because
I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just stating a fact. Like he doesn't say Opie and Anthony.
But are they sucking the C's because of us?
No, absolutely not.
God, wouldn't that be great to know?
I would love to be responsible for that.
And no one's saying this guy's a bad parent. He might be a great parent. I'm just tired of parents. Stop mentioning your effing kids. Who cares?
No one cares. You know why? It's the self-importance. When someone has kids, and you know something? That's fine and dandy. You want to treat your kid like a prince or a princess? There's no problem with that. Do it. Raise your kid however the hell you want. But to ask anybody to take responsibility for their upbringing besides you, screw off. We're here to have fun and entertain adults.
Yep, exactly.
There you go. We can't put Barney on 24 hours a day. I'm sure you'd love that. Let's just put Barney on. You know why? Because if Barney was on TV and a Barney show was on radio and Barney was at the movies 24 hours a day, it would be a perfect world. You know why? Because people would grow up loving and accepting and caring, and there wouldn't be all this dirty stuff to turn them on. And you know something? Everything would be fine. We'd live in a paradise in a few years. Because, well, people would be raised with love and tenderness, and every adult would run into video stores shooting everybody because there's nothing entertaining on.
No, but you know what would be great, guys? Maybe later we could all sit around and listen for the F word.
Haha, at the beach. We'll go to the beach and listen to the F word on a Rolling Stones album.
Does that not tell you all you need to know about this little over middle-age douche? If that guy said I was 13 and 12 and doing that, I would say all right. But if you're 17 sitting on a beach trying to hear the F word and you have other jagoffs that are willing to do it, you are going to be a dull mother effer when you're an adult, and that's exactly what it is.
And that's what I see by his little article.
Bravo, bravo!
A flunky, pussy, boring, unheard of writer on the West Coast.
Mike O'Brien, turned off.
Ooh, that
turned off. I'm turned off.
Turned off.
There you go.
And good luck to you, parent, hero, doing your job day in, day out.
Shutting us off on the radio. Which, hey, that's fine.
Absolutely.
You know something? That ain't going to do it, though. That ain't going to do nothing. It ain't about what this show presents on a daily basis, that we have problems in society and that 13-year-old girls are in school hobbing knobs and giving up the egg to stay a virgin.
Yeah.
It's happening. And it ain't because of this show. I'd love to think it was.
Dude,
I'd volunteer to go on 24 hours a day if I thought we were promoting sex.
I've gotten emails from people going, "You're not funny, you suck." All right, you accept it. People think that something's funny. They think you're not funny as a person. When people get offended like that, that's what makes me sick. Not that I don't think it's funny. There's plenty of people that think my punchlines stink. Whatever, fine. Yeah. But when they're offended, when they think it's bad for society, that's what makes me sick.
Bad for society.
You know, if you think it sucks, fine. But, you know, I don't care about your kids, man. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pretend I do. I'm not interested. If you're a parent, don't tell me about your kid. I don't want to hear it. I don't care.
Bravo.
I really don't. And I like kids. I just don't want to hear about a great job you're doing, making the world safe for them. Drop dead. Drop dead.
All right, we're going to continue with the theme and go to the FU line, Andy.
Yeah.
We got to talk about next.